Hi, I'm Max K. Good evening, and what a thrill and a pleasure it is for you to see me here this evening. Well, tonight I'm standing in for Gary Mitchell, who unfortunately could not be with us, and he has a very good reason why he didn't want to come. So there you are. I'm your host for this evening. And tonight on Sweet and Sour, we've got some wonderful letters from you. First of all, a lady who's received letters from her friends, which they used to write when they were youths at school, and they're very revealing, these letters. They show the lady to be quite promiscuous and use 4-letter words. And she wants to know if she should reveal this to her children. You must be crazy. Don't do that. And then in our second letter, we've got a lady whose husband has broken all the promises he made. Large family and holidays all the time. In fact, he's got a very big property portfolio, and she wants to trick him into having another child. Should she do it? We'll soon find out. And our last letter this evening is a young lady who doesn't know her own mind, doesn't know whether she should marry this guy that she's going with or not. Lots of people do that. Now, these will be judged by a wonderful erudite panel. They will be pontificated upon and advised upon in Sweet and Sour tonight.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
What a wonderful panel I have here. Now, I told Gary Mitchell, I said, don't give me a lot of duds, and he gave me these beautiful girls. I think this is really wonderful. I'm going to say hello to Kellie at the end there. That's Kellie.
Hello, how are you
Hello,
tonight?
Kellie. What's been happening to you? You are Miss British Empire.
Yes, that's correct.
You're Ms. British Empire.
Ms, that's right, yes.
Does that you mean you just missed it, or what?
No, that just means I'm that little bit more older than everyone else. That
Yeah,
entered.
oh, I see. I see. You're the mature Miss.
Yeah, okay,
Miss
we'll go with that. That's a better way to say.
Yeah.
I'm the mature side of the competition.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And how
so I'm
did
heading
you
over
get
to London very soon. Very excited.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
And
a
there'll be
big deal.
everybody from the British Empire, Canada and all these other places.
There will be people from the Asian, sort of Oceanic, and obviously the UK side of things.
Wonderful.
So a lot of us going over. We've got 4 Australians that are heading over to London, so it's very exciting.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
And we've got the lovely Mykaela here,
Hi,
whom I know
Max.
very well. How are you?
Yes, you do.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
Very, very well, thank you. And what have you been doing?
Well, I organised the pageant for Kellie and one of our other panellists tonight.
Your company is
My
called
company.
Crazy Cool.
Crazy Sexy Cool.
Crazy
Australia,
Sexy
yes.
Cool. Crazy Sexy Cool.
I named it after myself.
Yes, of course. Yeah. It's evident.
Yeah,
Lovely
yeah.
to see you. And here we have Michaela.
Hello.
You say Mykaela, I say Michaela. You say Michaela. Michaela. Let's call the whole thing off.
How are you, Max?
I'm good. How are you? No,
I'm
I'm
good, thank
interviewing you. I'm to say how are you.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Don't you say how are me.
I'm good, thank you.
That's great. And you're also a Miss British Empire.
I'm the Miss British Empire.
You're the Miss one. You're the very young one.
Yeah. So I'm also heading to London with Kellie.
That's great. What an exciting time.
I know. It's my first big international competition, so I'm
that's
really
lovely.
excited.
Well,
Yeah.
best of luck.
Thank
Best of
you.
luck. Amanda, where are you heading?
Hello Max, where am I heading? I'm heading nowhere. I just got back from a lovely holiday in Europe and I'm having a hard time adjusting to reality.
Well, it's lovely. Well, we're going to find out how clever you all are. Here's our very first letter. And this one is from Vicky of Malvern in Victoria. Dear Sweet and Sour, a few days ago I received a large white envelope from a friend I had been close to in high school, returning letters and cards and notes I had written to her through our 5 years at school. And there was so much because back then we wrote down and sent everything because we didn't have email or social media. She thanked me for being a great friend and thought I might like to have them as she was decluttering her life. I can't tell you how upsetting it was to read how awful I was as a teenager. I was promiscuous, nothing wrong with that, used foul language, nothing wrong with that, and made reference to experimenting with drugs. Oh, it brought back so many terrible memories that I had blocked. I've been married now for 23 years and have 3 children who would be crushed if they discovered my past. The letters are full of history and my most innermost feelings. Some passages are humorous, and though thoughts of a silly teenager talking to a dear friend. I can't bring myself to throw them away and have hidden them away. Do my children have the right to know their mum from these letters? Do I have the right to hide the true history of their mum from them? Well, Kellie, what do you think?
I think that she's just realised she's a normal teenager. So teenagers go through this sort of stuff.
Could that be you?
Quite normal. Most of the stuff, let's take out the drug side of things, it's not my experimentation, but the other things, I wrote letters. I would have written things that she probably did right. We don't know what she did right, but in saying that, she does not need to show these to her children. Why would you? They don't need to see them. But I think it opens up a door for her to actually discuss these things with her children, and it might make them closer, and for her and her children to understand that these are things that children and teenagers go through every day, and she could help them out by taking it to their level.
It's history, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Mykaela.
Hi Vicky. I think you should perhaps walk a mile in your children's shoes. So put it this way, I would hate to have known what my parents got up to when they were young.
I could tell you.
Well, oh gosh, you could too. Aside from Dad sort of throwing fireworks into his classroom, I really honestly don't want to know. And neither will your kids. They really don't want to know what you got up to. So if I was you, I would be very lucky and very thankful that it's not on email or social media. It can totally, there's no digital footprint, so you should burn the evidence, say nothing, they don't want to know.
Good for you. And Mykaela.
Exactly my thoughts as well. Vicky, I feel like you've answered, yourself in this letter. I mean, you've been married for 23 years, so obviously, what, you're in your 40s now, so it's a long time ago. And as Mykaela said, there is no actual digital evidence. There was no social media back then. So I would say your kids don't need to know what you don't want them to know. And who wasn't promiscuous in high school, really? Who didn't use foul language?
I wish I'd known you all in high school. I think that would have been really good.
I'm sure I'm definitely not going to tell my children anything that I don't want them to know. And then you don't want them to use it back, flip it back on you as well if they were to do those things.
Amanda.
Oh, well, Vicky from Victoria, you sound like someone I would like to know when you're a teenager. She sounds like a lot of fun. I think it's sad that she's trying to wipe away this history when your past experiences inform who you are as an adult. So, I mean, whether she shares all of the letters or all of the details, maybe not, but she could just have a chat. Take out the good bits, take out maybe some of the more G-rated bits and have a chat. Round table, family round table, dinner conversation. We make for interesting dinner conversation.
Well, there you are, Vicky. I think you've got it. We're going to do our Your Say. This is the thing that we took online. We asked people to ask these questions and to tell us what they thought online. My own thoughts were, you know how you never want to hear about your children, your mother and father having had sex. You think you were born some other way. Well, that's how I feel about it. Don't tell them. For God's sake, why would you spoil their lives doing that? Our online people, when in USA, 54% said, yes, you should tell them. Can you believe it?
Wow.
And 46% said no. It was very, very close. So there you are. Vicky, don't do that. Don't do it. Why ruin your life? It's wonderful, and thank you for sending the letter. But I think you have it here from a very classy panel. All gone. Thank you so much.
Getting in touch with Sweet and Sour is easy. Just head to sweetandsour.net.au to send us a letter. And while you're there, why not check out our past episodes? Plus, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And for a behind-the-scenes look at Sweet and Sour, check us out on Instagram.
And welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Now, remember, if you have a letter read out on this program, you're going to the movies. And the movie is Hampstead with Diane Keaton, and that's by kind courtesy of Natalie Cameron. Don't forget, so get the letters coming in and you can win a movie pass. So here we are with the second letter, and this is from Amanda of Erindale in South Australia. Dear panelists, we can never agree on anything, Now, I want another child, and he doesn't want a bar of it. We have had 2 already, but when we married 8 years ago, I always wanted, and he agreed, that we would have a big family of 6 kids, if we could afford it. Well, I think we can, and he just doesn't want to afford it. It seems that everything he agreed upon when we were engaged, he's now reneged on. And I wanted a dog, never got one. I wanted an European holiday, never got one. I wanted a local family holiday every year, never had one. All our money has gone into building bigger houses and moving. That's very nice, but I don't need a supersized house and a property portfolio. I'd love more kids, I really would, but hubby says it will hold us back financially. Should I just try to fall pregnant without him knowing? After all, accidents happen all the time. Ooh, Amanda.
Well, this Amanda sounds a lot less bright than myself, I have to say. I think that is an...
You do what, big family?
Oh, no, I don't actually.
Do you want a family at all?
Oh, I'd be happy with lots of dogs, I think.
Yeah.
But,
Can I help?
But I think to just accidentally, on purpose, get pregnant is a monumentally disastrous idea, and I just advise against it.
Why would you think it's a bad idea?
Well, you can't trap somebody like that with
you
something
can't.
so serious. Well, you shouldn't. It's ethically wrong.
Ethically, it's wrong.
It is.
But it's your husband.
And yes, but your husband could then really resent you and resent the pregnancy and then resent the child. So you're actually bringing a child into really bad circumstances, and it could create a lot of conflict and a really unhappy family life.
Yeah.
So definitely it's a decision that both partners need to make together.
Okay.
But I do think he sounds like an absolute prick for not getting her the dog. I mean, who denies somebody a dog, really?
Yeah, and gives them a big house.
I would have
of a
the dog
dog
over the house. I'd be happy to live on a farm with 20 dogs.
Yeah, you want one of these. Yeah, well, perhaps you could send her one if you've got any. Have you got any dogs to spare?
Oh, no, I'm not giving any of
No,
mine.
you're not going to be your dogs, okay. Thank you, Amanda. And Mykaela.
Well, I mean, I think in this last sentence, accidents happen all the time, right? Well, yeah, they do, hence why they're called accidents. So getting yourself pregnant without him knowing is not an accident, so I definitely vote against that. In terms of, I feel like, everyone wants fulfillment in their life. You have, your ambitions and your goals, and if you want to have 6 kids, I think you should have 6 kids. So really, if there's something not happening and he won't give you the 6 kids, you need somebody else to give you 4 more kids.
Are you
That's what I think.
suggesting that she go with someone else?
Well, maybe if he's not giving you what you want.
Should you then say to him, I'm giving you the ultimatim, either you give me a child or I go and get
That's
somebody
what
else.
I would do. Give him the ultimatum. Give me 4 more kids, or I'm out of here.
She's harsh.
Pretty hard. Is that what you would do?
Yeah. I mean, if I want 6 kids, I want 6 kids. And
You wouldn't just run off and just have another child?
no.
Okay. Mykaela.
Well,
You've got 14 children, haven't you?
yes.
That's right.
Being the mother of 14 children,
Yep.
being the mother of 4 children, I would definitely push for a puppy. As you know,
It's hard to have a puppy, of course, if you're a
it's
human.
not as hard to have a puppy as it is to have a kid, that's for sure.
Ooh.
But I think, kids are expensive. The older they get, the more expensive they become as well. Look, you could easily sneakily have a puppy. Oh, hang on, no, you probably couldn't. But when my husband was over east one time, yes, I did the sneaky thing of messaging him saying, I've bought a puppy when I hadn't. And when his response was, oh, okay, I went and bought a puppy. So maybe you could try something like that.
That's pretty sneaky. It's not like sneaky having a child without him telling, but having a puppy would be a good thing to have.
That's right, and I thought, he didn't go crazy at the fact that I'd...
So you tested the
I
water
did
first?
test the
That's a
water
clever
first.
thing to do, you see?
Yeah, and to have more kids, you will need to supersize the house and the car and everything else. So, yes, get a puppy.
Okay. Kellie.
Well, I really think that, Amanda, you just need to have a sit down with your husband. Obviously, you've had a discussion when you were engaged, but it seems like things have changed a little bit, and that maybe you need to sit down again and have another chat. Obviously, 6 kids is a big commitment. I don't have any children, and having 6 just scares me. But having 6 kids in a supersized house, that sounds like it's going to work. So he's already putting things in place for maybe this big family. maybe he's just not ready, maybe he needs another few more years. You know, just have a chat. It could possibly be around the corner for you.
There you are. Well, Amanda, you've got plenty of suggestions there. First of all, Mykaela suggested that you pop out and have a quick stop with someone else and have a child. Or, as Mykaela suggested, buy a puppy. Or say you're buying a puppy, but don't actually buy one until you see what his reaction is. And then turn up with the puppy. I think that's a fantastic idea. Okay, but let's hear now what the public said about that very thing. Is it ever acceptable to deceive your partner? 35% said yes, and 65% said no. Where the hell are they getting these answers from?
Exactly. I think, well, deceiving your partner and getting
Well, you're deceiving.
You're
You're just buying a puppy, after all. God, where are they? I don't know where they're getting that. Well, we'll find out shortly. We'll be back with you very, very shortly.
Never judge a man until you've walked a mile in his shoes. That way, if you have a fight, he'll be a mile away and he won't have any shoes.
Time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
Back to the last and final segment of Sweet and Sour for tonight. We've got a very interesting last letter. All the letters have been interesting, have they not?
Yes.
They've been really interesting. So we'll read the last one, slowly. Hi, Sweet and Sour panelists. Well, I know I feel great when I'm with him, and I love his company, and I say that I love him all the time. We've been together for more than 18 months. God, that's a really long time. I miss him when he's not around. But is it love? Why is it an issue? Well, he wants me to marry him. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that after 18 months you would ask him marry? Well, I'm not even sure that I want to get married. And one day, and I married one day, and I see many other couples that break up. All of them started by thinking they were in love, and they finished on the trash heap and traumatized. So how do I know if he's the right one? And I shouldn't let him get away. How do you know that? How do I know if I should say yes to anyone at all? I'm 23 and he's 26, and we've never had a fight, and he's waiting for my answer. It excites me, but it makes me anxious. Is this normal? No. This is not. Mykaela, you have there, because you're the experienced one.
Oh,
so
yes.
you have the first go at this.
Well, there's actually a few questions in here, but I'm going to cut straight to the chase, Cassie.
Don't
I'd
do
like
that.
to say, don't marry him. You're too young, you've got plenty of time, but I don't actually want to be a killjoy, and I figure, well, why not? Just marry him. You're young, you've got plenty of time to make mistakes. Stand up, dust yourself off, marry someone else, whatever. I really don't think it's going to matter for you.
She's not bloody interested, frankly.
To be
Cassie.
frank, I think, you know, at 23, I don't know, maybe people do know that they're in love, but
I don't think you can go through life thinking, well, oh, I mustn't do this because other people break up.
That's right.
I mean, if you look at the statistics, it's pretty awful. I mean,
If you don't
divorce
marry
is
him,
terrible.
then you
But
won't
then
get
nobody would ever
divorced.
get married. You know, you've got to know your own mind. Look at yourself. Maybe you're not grown up enough to do it.
after a gazillion boyfriends, I definitely knew when I met my cousin.
Oh, it's like that. Is it? That's incestuous, you know.
No, I do have friends who've done that, but
Oh,
not
do you?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my current partner,
Too bad he's your
my
father.
hubby, that that he was the one. So, hell, just marry him. You only live once, but you can marry lots of times.
Okay, Kellie?
Well, Cassie, with you saying I say that I love him all the time. Saying that you love someone doesn't actually mean that you do love someone, and you got to feel it. So my opinion is not to marry him. Going on 32 myself and being in love, I thought, a few times before, and in long-term relationships, a lot longer than 18 months. I thought I was with the right person, and it definitely wasn't. So maybe have a think about it a little bit more. You've only been together for 18 months. You're only 23. There's so much out there for you. There's a big world. There's so much to experience. So why tie yourself down with one guy? There's a lot of other things out there to experience. Go travel, see how you feel when you come back. Maybe that's what I would do. That's what I did do. And now I feel like I'm in the right place. So see how it goes for you.
Yeah, well, see, 23 isn't really all that young. I mean, my wife was 19 when I married. I was 21. And we knew our mind. We knew what we wanted to do. And I think it's more to do with you than it is to do with the guy that you're looking at. You are apprehensive. And I dare say you'd be apprehensive about anything you do. Anyway, I'm going to tell you what the public thought. Is it now normal for people not to want to marry? Results, 82% said yes. 82% don't want to get married. 18% said no. What do you think of that? Amanda?
Yes.
Did you see that lovely thing? Amanda?
The shift. I think, Cassie, she's 23, that's so young.
It's not young at all.
I think it is. I think it's really young. And I think, people are getting married a lot later. Some people are deciding not to get married. I think, she could always just get engaged to him and have a really long engagement, and then she was feeling like she was unsure, then break it off. So it's not like you've got to get engaged and get married super fast. But I just think, when it's the right person, there's no doubt in your mind. So maybe he isn't the right one.
Is anyone the right one for
Yes,
Cassie?
yeah.
You think so?
I think she'll know when she finds him.
When she really finds him. She says she loves him.
Yeah, but there's loving someone and then there's wanting to spend the rest of your life with someone.
Okay, Mykaela?
Yeah, I definitely feel like you know when you know. I am only 23 and I don't think it's too young. It's been 4 years for me and there's no ring on this finger yet. But I
you've
feel
been going
like
with a guy for 4
yeah,
years.
4 years.
And
I know, where's the ring? I don't know.
you're off to London and you could find
know.
someone else. He's very silly.
Yeah, well, we are going to Paris after London.
Is he
so,
going?
Yeah, he's coming as well.
Oh,
so
he's coming.
Maybe
Oh,
it's
he's
my
taking-
time,
oh.
who knows? No, hopefully he's not watching this. No, look, Cassie, I feel like you can't live your life constantly overthinking everything, and you see other couples that break up all the time. You can't constantly compare your relationships to theirs as well. You have to do what's right for you. And yeah, you do say that you love him and you miss him when he's not around, but yeah, I'd still stick with everyone else. I feel like you know when you know, and I don't think that you should marry him based off of that.
Yeah, well, there you are, Cassie. What would you think that? What do you think she should get married and have a go? I think if you don't know now, you'll never know. I mean, you're 23 years of age. You say you love him, and you miss him when he goes away. I think that probably means you love him. And you've got to put aside all the things, especially the 83% who say it's not necessary to get married. You've got to put that aside. If you really love him, you'll go out and you'll get him. And if you don't do that with him, then you have to feel the right guy. So there you are. There's the answer. You know what the answer was? 82% thought. 2% thought shouldn't get married. So there you are. We have a winner for the letter for tonight. Was number 1, was it not?
It was.
Number 1 was our letter. That was our lady who has been very, very naughty when she was in her teenage years. Very, very naughty indeed. And she wants to tell her children. I think she thinks she's a bit proud of it, really. I want to show my children that I was a real goer when I was 17. Woo! But there you are. You've won a pair of wonderful sunglasses from Aussie Opticals, and we'll be sending them to you. And it's very good of them to do it. Thank you. Somebody's got something wrong with their beard. It's been lovely being with you. Thank you so much, Kellie.
Thank you.
And Mykaela and Mykaela and Amanda. Have a wonderful time while you're in Britain. And I hope one of you at least wins something and brings it back. We're not winning much.
We're going
Why not?
Yeah.
You're going. There we are. Lovely. Thank you for being with you. Come back soon, Gary. You may never come back at all. Bye for now. Bye everyone.